Situated in Yokohama City, a huge monster, Kaiju, had attacked. The whole area was evacuated and people were shifted to shelter. The monster was as huge as a building. The army was there to stop. The special forces which deals with such monster also arrived, and in seconds the monster was destroyed by the 3rd Division forces. As the reporters and public cheer for their savior, the cleanup department arrives at the situation who are best for clearing up the dead body of the monster. As it is a huge one, it takes time and precision as it has been cut into smaller parts and then transferred. Kafka, a member of cleanup department, is advised to go and clean up the intestines, which was the worst part, but he could not deny the job, but after the job he always get upset. Later that night in his bed, he watched the Captain Mina Ashiro, who killed the monster easily, and remembers that they both were once childhood friend, and she was everything for him. Next day when Kafka returns, his superior calls him and asks him to meet the new guy, Rino Ikikawa, who came for part-time work. The superior there told Kafka that this guy also wants to join defense forces just like you. Later they all head out for the monster body which they were cleaning, and once again Kafka was given the work of intestines, but Rino was also given to accompany him. But in the break Rino became unwell as this was the worst job he could have gotten, but Kafka gave him something to cover up his nose for the smell, and again they head out to complete their work. As the day was over, everyone left for their home, and then Rino thanked Kafka about helping and guidance, and told that he is a good guy, but suddenly another kaiju attacks them. It was not huge, but big enough with 10 legs. Kafka pushed Rino so he doesn't get eaten by him and asked him to run as fast as he could and call the defense forces to help them. Kafka then ran to the opposite side to give time to Rino to run. He tried to hide into the building. The kaiju was too strong and chased him in between, and at one moment he fell to the ground, and the kaiju broke his leg at that moment. As Kaiju came to attack him, Rino appeared and slammed a pole at him, but it was not too strong to kill a monster, and when the monster came to attack, suddenly bullets came firing him, and he died there. It was Captain Mina who killed the monster, and they both, Rino and Kafka, were taken to hospital. After getting treated, Kafka again thought that why did he give up on his dream job becoming a defense force guy. Rino there on the next bed thanked him on helping and saving his life. Kafka thought that he can also save a lot people if he became one of them. Kafka then decided to be one of the defense force guy, but then suddenly a small kaiju appeared in front of him flying and got into his mouth. Rino heard some noises from him, so he turned his curtain to see what's going on, and when he saw him, he was turned into a kaiju. Both Rino and Kafka then screamed at each other, but Kafka could talk, and he told Rino that, "It me." Rino then told him to run as a patient just saw him and got unconscious. Rino and Kafka both ran from there together, so that the defense force could not kill Kafka, looking like a monster. As they both were running, Rino said that what happened to you, so he told that he ate a monster. And then Kafka realized that now he cannot join the defense force and got sad, but then he heard a blast from a distance. It was another kaiju. He ran towards their tot see what has happened. A girl and her mother were stuck in a house and a kaiju had attacked them. Kafka arrived there and pushed the kaiju away as he had gotten amazing strength. The girl there got scared to see Kafka, but Rino came in and calmed her down. He helped in saving the mother also. Kafka then destroyed the kaiju a straight punch. Kafka then wanted to run away, but Rino stopped him, and after realizing that now he can save people, he turned back into human form. As the time passed, the ambulance arrived and the defense force also arrived. The girl then told Mina that what happened, and she told her to not to kill the good kaiju as he saved her mother. Mina was shocked hearing it, as it was something that has never happened before. 3 months passed away. The defense force was unable to find the kaiju that Kafka had become as he hid his powers and kept doing his work. Their company then got a mail for Rino and Kafka saying that they both have passed the round 1 of defense force selection and are called for round 2. Rino told Kafka that he doesn't need to show his powers to anyone or else he will not let him join the forces. Later, they both arrived at the headquarters of Defense Force for round 2 selection. As they parked their car, a girl came to them and told them to move their car as she wanted to park her car at the spot as it was her lucky number, and even told Kafka an old man as he was 32 years old, but Kafka denied. The girl told that her name was Kakiro, and she then showed her powers as she was wearing a suit which increased her strength as she was the daughter of the director of the defense force. She picked up the car Kafka had and threw it away, but then Kafka picked the car by his hand and parked it back on another spot. Reno got angry as he stopped him from using his powers, but he told him that he just used his hand, nothing else. Later in the selection, they had to do fitness tests and other stuff, and in the end Kafka was in last of every test, and from that his round 2 ended. The vice captain, Sashiro Hoshina of the team, then took them to round 3, which was the last round, and told them that they will be sent inside a huge place which had small kaijus, and they have to kill them all. They were then given the special suite to wear, which also showed how much power they have, and which helped in making the muscular strength enhanced, but in between everyone Kafka had 0 strength unlocked of the suite. Then everyone was told that inside, if they got in trouble, their suit shield will be activated, and they will be disqualified and were sent inside to fight. Kikuro was way too strong, so she rushed inside and had the strongest suit as she had unlocked 46% of the strength, and started killing the Kaijus inside. Everyone else also went in and started to shoot at the possible kaiju they saw. Reno and Kafka were behind, and Kafka was not quitting at that moment and wanted to qualify at any cost so he can fulfill his promise done to Mina. He was weak, but he knew the weakness of kaiju as he used to cut their bodies while disposing them up. So he helped others and told them the weakest point in different types of kaiju in there. But suddenly a kaiju attacked him and threw him into the walls, and when he tried to get up, his leg was broken. He thought that now his shield will be activated and he will be out, but the Kikuro came in and destroyed the kaiju so he could not be disqualified. Reno then helped him to get up, and Kafka didn't want to give up, and so he stood up with a broken leg. It was really surprising for the superiors watching the fight front. He drones, and they saw that Kafka's strength increased by 0, one which was very less but never happened in fight before. Reno then asked Kafka to get on his shoulder, and everyone saw it from computer. Even the vice captain laughed at him as he was really funny for him. Everyone then tried their best and killed the kaijus inside, and then finally Kikuro killed the last one. Hoshina thought that it was all king of fast as they killed everyone easily. Mina saw the whole fight also and was amazed by seeing the strength of the director's daughter. They were all then told to evacuate and get outside. Kikuro standing alone thinking of her father, that now he will be proud, but then suddenly a laser beam comes towards her heart and it penetrates her armor. But she was saved as her inner armor was still on and it made a protective skin on her. In front of her was another kaiju who saw her and asked her what is that happening to her skin. She was shocked as she had never seen a talking kaiju. Then the anonymous kaiju attacked her more and left her to die, and even revived the other kaijus killed there so they can do more destruction. That kaiju was a white color and had a hat on his head too. The headquarters suddenly got information about Kikuro getting hurt as her suit was connected to them. Mina then commands them to activate the shield on candidates and get them out of there. She then asks Vice Captain to go inside with her. Suddenly, that kaiju in front of Kikuro charged his blast and was going to kill her. But then Kafka appeared in front of her. He told her to stay behind him, and as the blast came toward them, he transformed and became a kaiju and deflected the blast away. Kikuro was shocked looking her, but he begged her to not to tell anyone about his secret and told her that he will now kill that kaiju, so stay back. Kafka then charged his power, and with one strike he killed that kaiju. Reno came behind him and scolded him that he cannot do that in open. And before everyone arrived there, Kafka and Reno took Kikuro out. As Mina and Sashiro arrived, they saw nothing, but the scene was same for them as 3 months before. At the hospital, Reno was with Kafka and supported him. Mina also came to his room to thank him but went out quickly. Sashiro went to meet and asked for Kikuro's health. At night, the news came out that there were no humans dead in the event, but the kaiju that came there and tried to kill Kikuro was. Shocked that who the hell saved her at that point, but as the phone rang, he transformed into a human and went for his job, becoming anonymous for everyone. After a week, Kafka was scared that he does not want to fail the exam and asked many times Reno that will he passed. Then a guy in the office came to them and gave them the mail that they got. It was about the selection. Kafka was too scared to open it, but when he opened the letter, he smiled. After a week, it was the day of joining. Reno was there in the ceremony, and everyone else to Kikuro was the #1 candidate with highest number. Then Captain Mina came in to give a speech and asked Kikuro to get on the stage and address as the #1 in the whole class. Then Kafka entree the class and he was late. Mina remembered that Sashiro argued everyone to let him join as he knows a lot about kaijus. During the speech, Kafka got into trouble and Mina gave him a punishment to do 100 push-up. And so he started to do it as she left the hall, but Sashiro standing there laughed at him on getting in trouble on his first day. Later, Kakiro asked him to go and meet her in separate. She then asked him that what was he on the other day, so he and Reno told that a kaiju got into his mouth, and he turned that way. Later, they all went for training and got their strength of the suit to increase. Even Kafka had turned to 1, but Kikiro turned to 55. But Kafka was really happy for his achievement. Later, they all had to run 15 laps as their last training and went for a bath with other team members. Harajizumo, Aoi Kaguragi, and Iharu Furuhashi. Reno and Kafka in bath talked about themselves that why did they join the forces. So everyone told about Mina that they saw her and got motivated. But then Kafka told that he was her childhood friend, and I have made a promise to her to be her side, so now I am going to complete my promise. Everyone then got interested in his story and asked him to tell everything in detail, but in the end they all got too much burning front hot water and got unconscious, and Reno took care of them, all as everyone else passing by saw them on the ground and laughed. Then next day they all had their training, and day after day everyone got stronger. Few days later, Sashiro walked in on Kafka as he was in library late studying. He then asked him that he heard that you wanted to be with Mina, so he said yes, it is true. So they both challenged each other as the spot was of vice captain, which Kafka wanted and Sashiro had. Suddenly the alarm started, and so Sashiro said, "Good luck to Kafka for his first mission in field," and everyone started to prepare to leave for the scene. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.